Africans. We know that the sons and the daughters are the ones protecting the old fathers and the old mothers. Where do they think they're going to go like this? What kind of strength will their voice have? Our children are still captive in their land, and they are yet to lift the voice on it. They wonder why. They can't dare look at them in the eyes and tone up. They have weakened them. Our people say, if you deprive a man or a woman from his children, you have ended that person.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to understand that there's no blessing, there's no grace, there's no protection we're going to get from Tata Nzambe until our children come home. So we shouldn't get deterred, because those here, they don't want to see our children go back. In fact, they treat them like they're slaves still. When some of them dare go home, they go around their embassies, go around scaring people at home off against our children, telling them those returning from America are dangerous, are this and that. Any refugee they bring here, they have them watch hours video long of crimes committed by our children, as if our children are the only one committing crimes in this country. So you see how they do everything to isolate them from everybody. And they are yet to return our children to us. It's a conversation that must be had. And now is the time. Tata Nzambe told our ancestors that his protection is more than ever with us. So that all they need to do is there, speak up. That's all they need to do. Our people say, comes the time the lion loses his teeth. And that's exactly where we are. We need to work in a way where we wipe that shame off of our faces. What kind of dignity will we have? America still got their children in slavery. They don't even budge about it. This is what the world think about us. And as long as we don't claim our children back, these people are going to feel they are entitled to continue telling us what to do. So they shouldn't be shocked when recently Biden made a threat. It's like all those fence sitter, meaning those sitting on the fence, they will face consequences too. We took it as a threat against our people because we know that there's 8 of them that voted no, 27 of them that voted abstinence. They never seen such numbers coming from our people. And there's about 8 of them that just conveniently were absent. So it's to tell you, our people are awakening. What will give strength to those at home is if the diaspora is disciplined. We are organized. And we go before them as one. Sometimes our people tells us that when the father is blind, they rely on the son to hold his hand and carry him where he needs to go. So it's okay for us to show them the way. It's completely okay.
Ashe, Bayete, my queen. Very, very okay. I wanted us to get into actually this clarity. Because, you know, I'm not against, but I already opened these things because if that's the way we should go, why should we delegate one person? That's the question. Number 2, when they say it is for the Sith region, so what actually do they mean? Do they mean people with passports from the diasporan communities? Or, I mean, okay, should we have the contact to find out? Can organizations register to go? Or it is an appel to say, all right, send one representative, or this one is you saying, if we have to go, let us vote somebody, put up an agenda and send that person. And I can already see you should be the person anyway.
If that's the will of the people, then so be it. But what it will do to gather behind one person, number one, it shows readiness. So it
Yes.
means that our petitions are consolidated under one umbrella, and that alone is powerful to get that many people agree. Under, let's say, if the top 10 priorities are getting our people reparation and getting our people repatriated home and getting a permanent seat, if we can, agree on these three, let's say, okay, what we want as outcome out of this meeting is they start the campaigning of the return of our people. They go after NATO. NATO is asking them to back them. All right. NATO is asking them to side with them. Side with who? They are yet to make peace with Africa. Okay. That past, the slavery, the everything. It is now we open up that dialogue. So NATO shouldn't expect us to do anything. We are not their Senegalese infantrymen anymore. We are no longer their slaves. So not long ago, they were dragging our people from train in Ukraine, denying them the right to safety. And the audacity of their president to dare address us, talking about he wants us to support them. We are no longer their slaves, and they need to get that. Wherever these white people are from, whether from America or from Europe, we are not their slaves anymore. So basically, if we unite under one person, it means that we have shown the level of maturity to bring everybody's petitions, and everybody's petition, condense them into three keys. It shows an incredible sign of readiness. Because if we go, let's say individually, we register our organization, and then we go with our list of petition, knowing our people at home, they're going to look at us, they'll be like, no, they'll come back when they're ready. Because if they have been so slow in connecting the Region 6 to the continent, how many gazillion petitions they're going to start addressing one after another?
My queen, I see your point and it is very pertinent, but I was just going through that page, that link of what you're saying, and I could already see that there are organizations that are registered individually. So what you're saying is very relevant. If we register different organizations to attend, what is going to be the message? It's going to be also a disunited diaspora.
Exactly.
And I already see a couple of institutions and organizations that are registered on that page to attend the conference, and yeah, it's quite interesting to be able to find out the organizations that are already registered in the diaspora. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a mess if we are not organized.
Exactly. So at the same time, we have to keep in mind that some of the leaders of the African Union, unfortunately, are puppets. Okay, they fear for their lives, so they have to do exactly what the master said. Since the master is discouraging the return of our people, so imagine if we give them a reason not to hear us out, because we bombard them, each organization, with their petition. So you see, we will not get an outcome anytime soon.
That's very true, my queen. Yes, now, but the problem, the question I'm asking is, how are we going? Like I said, I think there are more than 15 organizations that I see there, and even ADDI is already registered, as I can see. So
basically, Region 6, as defined by the African Union, are all Africans born abroad. Okay, so Region 6 defined them as descendants of the captured and enslaved Africans. So those, because we don't look at them as American, as Brazilian, as they are our children born abroad. That's what Region 6 is. So normally we should be a body, an active body within the African Union.
Yes.
Black nations such as Barbados, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica must be part of the African Union.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So this is really the vision that the original vision that was drafted when they went from the Organisation de l'Union Africaine to the AU. So you see, and that vision is still there, it still remains. It's just like we haven't acted on it. But now that our people back at home are waking up, they dare, speaking up. Can you imagine even Gabon voted no, not abstinence? And we know Gabon is a traditional puppet country. So that lets you, my people, les bonjour.
Les bonjours, comment ça va? Je
Bonjour,
t'aime.
comment allez-vous? Je suis fière de vous.
Bisous, 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 ma chérie.
Bisous, I'm so proud of you. Even Gabon went and said no. So it tells what we have the momentum right now. And we are their fuel. We are what's going to motivate them to go forward. Because our people say we work, we build for our children. If we lose our children and they remain lost, if someone comes steal your children, they have stolen your future, point blank, period. So to me, it's top of the list. They are to be held accountable for what they did. They are to pay reparation to our people and to Africa. The royal families, I mean, I have what? 9 generations wiped out. I want reparation for that. For forcing my people to become orphaned. For forcing our people into slavery. I want reparations for that.
Ashe, Bayete, my queen. Bayete, 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 my queen. May you live long. May Her Royal Highness live long. Yes.
Ashe.
Yes. It is very, very correct, my queen. Now I'm just really concerned about what kind of opportunities we could make out of this as a united voice, one people, one voice. And so I think we have to go down to some research. We have to make some research about this conference. What is even the agenda? Who are those that are organized? And then we reach out also to those that are already registered so that we can mobilize. I think their contacts are there from what I see. Also hold maybe a roundtable before even going to put some stuff together. The problem, like you're saying, is not just going, but it's the organization is going as one people, one voice with one agenda or points that we have to put on the table and say, hey, here we are. And why not us even calling them to order to say we are also organized? So what do you think would be necessary? I think we would have to get in touch with those that are already registered and then look at the agenda that is being put there. I don't think necessarily we should be sending a representative. We should actually, when I say go collectively, like those that would go, if you're going, I definitely would love to go. But if I look at the day, it's 23rd, which is the Africa Day, of course. And I want us to find actually the authenticity and the seriousness. And if we go, are we gonna be heard? So I think we need to get to work on this conference, but it's a must attend.
So, although they may not be up to point as an organization, but I really doubt they will put such announcement and not honor it. That's one thing. I know our fathers are a little off, but I wouldn't, drop my expectation
No,
below that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with the agenda. I'm not disagreeing that the announcement will not take place. But what I do know, you know our fathers. You have been here for long. I
Yes,
just
but we can't let that cripple you. We can't let that cripple us.
no.
We've been asking for an opportunity to be heard.
Yes.
So the opportunity now, presenting itself now, we shouldn't waste our time nor energy on the packaging of it. We need to read the sign and jump. So, when I say that we choose a representative, it doesn't mean that the other people shouldn't go. In the contrary, I would encourage people to show up massively as a support for our speaker, whomever going to be our speaker. But we go with one agenda, and basically, number one, reparation; number two, return of our children; number three, a seat, if that's what the majority of the people attending going to say. But now, if we have among us people who want, let's say, uh, like kind of a petition, such as they want them to be recognized as an entity in the country they are and stuff, I'd rather not go and speak for on behalf of such petition, because it goes against what Tatanzambe has planned for our people. Tatanzambe said after 400 years we are to leave the land of captivity and return home. So as a queen, I cannot support any talks that gonna help or assist our children to stay away, to stay abroad, and continue being exposed to danger. Recently in South Carolina, they voted a new law. They're now going to execute people by fire squad. And they're starting with one of our sons. So while the savagery is gradually coming back, it becomes a matter of survival for our people. So, my voice is to represent those who want to go back home and, make sure they are given their reparation, and make sure that when they get home, they are properly accommodated, they are welcome. Because some countries don't even care. They put them through the same immigration challenges as they would put any foreigners, any white person coming in the country. And it doesn't make sense. All that needs to stop. We have to take our own responsibility. We have to be the one claiming our own children. So there's countries where they are not given work permit. And I know the countries, they are not given, citizenship and stuff, whereas in other countries, they are given citizenship at the port of entry. So we all need to get on one page, number one, on honoring Tatanzambe prophecy on our people, that we will allow our children to come back. Our children have the right to come back home. The problem we're having is like some countries are not giving them that right. So this round table, it's an opportunity from the sky. We shouldn't, pay attention to the package. I think many of us need to register in country. When many of us register, they're going to show interest. They're going to see that it's a topic which interests us, and that's what I suggest.
100% queen, mother, sister, daughter of the universe, daughter of the fatherland, motherland. Yes,
that's right.
You are, and all of you that are watching, make a donation. Okay, start by contributing. These things need work. These things need a lot for us to do. These things even need us to wake up. Some of us that are really still sleeping to take that lift of faith and boldness to say we're going back. We have been saying it here. King Maponga has been saying it here. King Bongane has been saying it here. Royals have been talking about it. Just pick your things, board the plane and go, instead of us getting this fire squad. When you get there, please throw that paper. That's a paper
away.
Away.
They're finding more and more gruesome way of disposing of our people. So my cry goes to our leaders back at home. Where is your pride? As long as our blood is being shed, Africa won't stand. Africa won't stand. Our people have a home, and we need to accommodate our people. We need to, open programs encouraging the return of our people. Not only give them paperwork, but attach a family behind them.
We have a duty and a responsibility for us to just go and do that. That is not even some McQueen. We should have been making our ugali, sitting here and just drinking some palm wine and massaging your feet and doing that. I don't want you please, I just don't want you to lose that beauty and that energy trying to say you want our people to hear or our leaders. No, we are just packing our things, taking our children. We're still here because we have to mobilize all of us. It's our journey, it's our purpose, and we go back home. The moment we enter there, hey, they're going to give the lands of our fathers when they were taken there. It's a traditional thing that you know, my royal. So, this message of us, my people, our leaders, no, they are our fathers. When we go back like the prodigal son, nobody is going to shut us the door. The thing, like you said, and I'm really putting that power behind you. I'm carrying your bag. You know me. I'm your most precious princess holding your royals. So we have to get ready. The message is for us that are ready to go. Pack your things. We had already given that plan 2 years ago. If you have a mortgage, start putting it in the market. Start like we had the queen from in Ghana. Start making your savings. Just if it suffice just to buy your ticket. Yes, that would be okay for now. Because what is coming, as you have said, the regulations, the laws, the poverty, the prices, the this. That one, none of us will be able to stand that flood.
No, no. And it's great time we go home. It's great time. We have amazing children dispersed all around. And it's
Yes,
our responsibility to claim our number one wealth back. Our people say the African number one wealth is not his gold, it's not his oil, it's not his manganese, cobalt, whatever. It's his children. So
go
let's
back.
get to
uh,
work.
Go ahead, my queen. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So let's get to work. That's all I have to tell them. In politics, they play on interests. All right. Our children hands are tied. They can't make them pay anything. But our people are sitting on economical agreements with these people, on military agreements, on natural resources they need for their world to go round. So before you ask me to have you as a partner, what is the status of the children you stole from me? Why don't you bring them back to my land and put money in their pocket for all the suffering you put them through? Then maybe I can sit down and look at you on eye level as a fellow human being. We can communicate, we can exchange, we can trade, and maybe be friends.
I share. It's we have to be ready, not just only being ready because we have to. It's I don't know how we have to sound that trumpet again. I'll be in Detroit, you know that it's gonna be all about that. Panama, if I we're already sending you, because even in Panama, that's the journey of reconciliation means we just want to say thank you for whoever our landlord or our hosts have been, and now we are going us. So I think even the issue of reparations, I mean, we're not going to die here because of reparations. We have too much land. We have 60% of
Absolutely, yeah.
uncultivated land. Even before we think about minerals that we don't even know how to, whether they are under which place. Congo is there to feed all of us, to house all of us. That's where we all come from, the Abantu kingdoms. So even if we go bundle and go only to Congo, it's enough. It's just not even the issue that we are here talking about. So please click and subscribe. Make sure you're giving your donation, because now when the queens are rising, the mothers are rising to say no, we want to take our children back home. We need your support. We need too much engagement from you.
Absolutely.
It
It
is very
costs, I
hard.
mean, we're talking about traveling cost and stuff and lodging and stuff. We really need your support. Whatever you can, send our way. Nubia, the path to return. I mean, because we have to go and get on their faces. We have to go and knock at their doors. So when we do that, they will know the children are ready. And knowing the African parent, they get embarrassed if they don't do. They will.
Oh no,
So
they're ready. They're ready. We have to go. We have to go
yeah.
back. And so support us on this journey. We're sending the queen. I mean, you see the fierceness, and she will not even bet, put that. Don't send me. Don't send me. We are sending her. We're sending her there, and we can be very sure that she's gonna bring back original package. Right? She's gonna look at them in the face and say, "Hey, put your signatures here. Sign this one." So it's not about politicking. That's why I said, we're so divided, like you say, we must unite to get the freedom that we want. We cannot be going even back home. We are disunited. And that's always the trick. And because they're like, you're going to be speaking 20 voices here. So who are we going to listen? But we should also understand that there are organizations that are fighting for African unity, but they are actually business people. So they
Yeah.
most of them are stepping on in the African Union House to negotiate private business and also get a piece of the cake, which is Mother Africa that they keep raping every day. But we are
Hmm.
saying, war betide you for whatever reason that you think that you can exploit your own people, for whatever interest that you think that you can be the number one and want to show that I'm the liberator, but you have hidden agendas. War betide us. If it is not about Africa, if it is not about our people, if it is not because about our freedom, if it is not because for our unity, I mean, the intentions must be clear. It is very obvious that why we are divided is because we can't even accommodate ourselves because we still have hidden agendas. Why are we multiple doing the same thing at the same time? Has-
Because they train us to compete. Those of us who fell under their hands, as you could see, like you will see, for example, in the workplace, they will make it believe like there's only one position for a black manager, but they're gonna have gazillion amount of white managers. That's how they do. Because in order for you to maintain people conquered, all right, you have to economically asphyxiate them. So you have many bird in a bag. You just let just a little sip of air. So inside they fight one another.
Mm,
And when you maintain people in that energy, you have an unlimited supply of traders. You see, people
mm,
who they haven't had access to their own resources for centuries. So too many of us owning a house is a luxury, is a dream. Can you imagine people as wealthy as Africans? So what do
we,
they do?
mm,
So what do they do? They come up with a price. And unfortunately, our people are yet to see the value they hold because we are so prone to betray one another. And we are so shameless about it that, we will betray our brother and come behind him and undo everything he did to try to set us free. But as long as we don't change our mentality, we live around traitors and even praise them. It's our own fault. We praise them while they're hurting the people. We marry off our daughters in their family when we should treat them for who they are,
mm.
traitors to the people. We shouldn't praise them. We shouldn't go around them. We shouldn't marry our sons and daughters to their families and so on. It's because we act in a way which let the world think that we haven't suffered enough.
we, my queen. To be honest with you, I still would go back to that issue that um because the energy, the fire, I know the baggage that you're carrying. To be honest with you, we have to start thinking that we are on our own. When I say we are on our own, we can be the best that we think that we have here. But when you go to the continent, even the guy on the street is the best on the continent. So It has always been for us to understand that if we already invest in people to people ourselves, we will never be astray. And that's why we talked about those projects. You know, adopt a family, like you say, adopt anything. Our young people are looking at us and saying, we are here. These are not politicians. These are people. When we invest and buy land and they start cultivating, the moment you're going home, you're already going to a family. But the problem is sometimes we are already so, I don't know, damaged or disoriented, tricked, fooled, lied to, manipulated against each other, that we always still think, before I go to Africa, I have to go and ask permission at the Africa Union before I. And you and I, we're daughter of the soil. We all grew there to say, hey, if you just adopt a child, a youth, and whatever thing that we will do together, they're the ones that are doing the manual work on the ground. We are the ones that can maybe work extra work, whether it's night or whatever, buy a farmland, buy a place, they start cultivating. That's your own, that's your family. You're coming home to them. They know my brother is coming back, my sister, my daughter. So people to people, that kind. I'm not talking now about the conference. The conference is clear that we're going to go. But I'm just talking about the other initiatives that you are already putting on the ground to say, let us connect, invest in one another. The youth are so like ready more than yesterday. Let us invest in the youth. The youth will be the one to take out of this mess. To be honest with you, it is the youth that will take us out of this mess. It is the youth that will fight that we come back. It is.
I understand, but we have to start somewhere. We're talking about our children who are still abroad. So to bring that many people, I'm sorry, but the country's authority gonna have to be involved, because
Yes.
we are not smuggling them in. They're returning home, and the people in power have the authority to make that happen.
Mm.
So when we talk about, yeah, it's going to come a point where basically we can, start rolling and do the lead work and the building and the planting and everything. But there's a major step that have to be completed first, is the transition of our people back home. If the people in authority are not, with the program, our children gonna find themselves expatriated, ignored. And this is not what Tata Nzambe said we should do in this time in our history. I'm privy to information that most people may not. This in our time, in the time in our history, is bound to happen. So we need to knock at the right doors. That's what they are asking us to do. They want us to leave it to them. So we have to understand that in this, we have to be spirit-led. Tata Nzambe told our ancestors that when that time comes, he will raise allies from unlikely places for us. And we can't let fear of uncertainty cripple us. So we move forward. We cannot smuggle our children back on the continent. Mandela, one of the reasons Mandela was put on terrorist, because before Nana Addo started the year of return, who was the initiator of such project? It was Mandela, when he became black again. So the talk about the different
When he became black again, my queen.
yes, because
Okay.
there was a time he was romancing his white former beaters to the point that it was ridiculous. You know, when he became president, he pardoned those who murdered our people in South Africa. He pardoned the murderers of the 800 and something children from the Soweto uprising. None of them stood trial. He pardoned them, but he doubled down the persecution on Winnie. Winnie was sued and dragged in front of the court like 15 times while Mandela was president. So yes, he was in good romance with his white masters. What can I say? So basically, he initiated that return um, program, and it was said that regardless of the country, our children just needed to pick, and citizenship was to be granted to them at the port of entry. That's how he was already planning the return of our children. So the leadership in America didn't want them because they view our children as their slaves. Like, how dare you come and take our slaves? So they put him on a terrorist. So he couldn't, one of the reasons they say he's a terrorist. He could no longer come in the US. So you see that on both sides, because as I say, our separation got a spiritual implication. It's not in their best interest to let our people go. But the time has come where our people must return. And we can't do it without home.
Yes.
Period.
Ashe. Bayete, my queen. Bayete, Bayete. Yes, so we are on the move. We are on the road. There's so many queens also in the background. We have most of them in the chat moderating and just congratulating Queen Queen Ngningone, and Cheryl is in the house. I saw Sonovia say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my queen, I'm late, but this meeting is very, very important." And I see some comments here, and this one is very interesting for us, to always get the feedback from what the family is saying from our conversation. Ennis is saying, if we work and trade, money became less necessary, and so we can go back to our trade and barter or trade by barter. Yes, we already had that conversation as well on the executive team of the senior women to say, you know what, we would have to go back to that when we get back home to say, how are we trading with each other as a matter of fact? Because there's just a lot of things that we buy and throw and waste and every day, which some people might need, and other things like you, Queen, that I would need and what I have. So what? That was the best thing, and that was how our ancestors traded. So definitely we'll be going back to those systems. But what the Queen is saying, we need to get to the continent first. And when we get there, then we'll get to the table and start putting all those things in order, everything that was one. I want to make you understand that you need to trust us. I don't need to stress here for you to understand. You know, Queen Ngningone, part to the return of the Nubia. She's been sitting on her channel every day for this mission. You have to understand who your prophets are. You have to understand people that actually are dying, that we go back to the continent. All of us, nobody's face is being hidden. We're not operating on the false agenda or fake names or whatever. We are right here with our faces right here in the camera on the whole global satellite. There is nothing that we are here to manipulate whatever person for something. So we are calling on you to understand that it is it's an agenda of spirituality. You send us, we go. If you don't send us, we all die here. Freedom or we all perish. So sending on means what? We can stand and be doing the job. You have to play your own role. Make sure you're supporting us to do this. We need a lot of monies to make these things happen. Now I'm going to be in Detroit. I'm going to be in Panama. She's going to be in Ethiopia. How are we going to do this? We're a global foundation. Some people have to do their work. Some people have to fund their work. There's no way we can ever do this. We have to begin. We have to begin.
And our people have been let down several times. You have no idea how many people come around them just to embezzle money because they know they want to go home. So they prey on their desperation to take money from them. Some of them promise to buy lands for them back at home and then disappear. Some of them organize trips, super expensive trips. I mean, our own people are exploiting our own out there. So when you see a lot of them being skeptical, a lot of them have been wounded because our own people out there are ruthless against one another. So, but nevertheless, just like you pointed, They have to learn to read between the lines. Okay? The people, because unfortunately, not all of us who are out there claiming to be Pan-Africanists are Pan-Africanists. Too many of us, it's a business opportunity.
Oh, yes.
Okay, my children. Too many of us, it's a business opportunity. So this is what you basically, the signs you look, their message. Usually their message lacks integrity. Today they're going to be pro-Africans and pro-African people. Tomorrow they're going to talk about something so divisive. Anybody trying to maintain division among us in any way, it's against the cause. It's there for fame, it's there for money, it's there for whatever. Anybody trying so hard to serve the other people, like I went crazy. One of our son published a video in support of the xenophobia in Africa, talking about African Americans have the same problem as Black American. They suffer from the huge number of illegal other Blacks who come and take their opportunity. So I had to stop and say, these things you're talking about are very dangerous. What South African Blacks and American Blacks have in common is the high level of confusion. Because these are the only two group of people who can turn violently against their own, on command by their masters. And we need to heal that. So you have to see, a lot falls on our plate, ourselves, self-respect, self-love. We can't ask people to love and respect us when we out there promoting nonsense, taking money from one another, stealing one another's hopes, dreams, and aspirations. But if you see one of us maintaining a divisive tongue, know that that's an agent. If you see one of us trying to divide us so much, oh, we are African American, but I'm Pan-Africanist. No, you are not. So start, telling, and those who are all about business, all they talk about business, the collective is on the floor. Many of us want to go home, but we don't know how to. All they talk about business. Okay, business, that's another indication. All they're about is business. So people who are highly ambitious like that can be bought very quickly.
Oh, yes.
We need to organize. We need to see what is important by order of priority. What kind of business are we going to be able to run if we might not even be alive tomorrow? The way they hunt our children down their streets in their countries.
One thing is very clear, my queen. I truly support what you're saying, and it's just like it's the same evil. It's the same like what King Bongane called the creature, and that creature has the same different colors as well. So
yeah,
if we focus on colorism, we're not going to get anywhere. To be honest with you, it is a spirit. But I want to assure us that we don't even need to worry because the judgment is here. I mean, if we look at, I'm not saying it's something that happened, but it's something that I thought about and I was like, wow, it's not been a week or twice that we were talking about the xenophobia in South Africa. And we had this conversation here. And 2 days ago, what is happening in South Africa?
They set one of our sons on fire, Zimbabwean, torched him alive.
Yes, and not only that, but you see the earthquake. If you look at how many people died during the xenophobia, look at how many just died now between the flood. So
exactly,
nature is not going to spare any of us because Mother Africa is the cradle of humanity, is the mother nature, is the mother and the first and the beginning and all. So whether we manipulate, whether we think we twist information, whether we think we are so smart more than the brothers and sisters, whether we think we're so educated, whether we think now we are too knowing and we start playing the games the Chinese are playing, the others are playing to say, no, they're going to take back our land. Let us also become businessmen and buy our land. Nobody can buy Mother Africa, Mother Nature, Mother of humanity. What you are going to pay at the counter is what you are going to get in bargain. It is a
Absolutely.
call that we will be,
Absolutely.
and this conversation we will have to have it, my queen, because a lot of us rape even mother. I said it all the time. A lot of us just stand in the marketplace and sell her for free just because we are taking color into action. I am Africa, so I can use other Africans to gain something out of Africa. Judgment is now. Your
Judgment is now.
your intentions will be. We saw how Mother Africa, Mother Nature brought the world to its knees, and they are choked in that smoke, and they never will get out of it. So if you here claiming you are daughter of the origin and you're doing the same thing, war betide you. You're going to get what you just pay at the counter.
Absolutely.
If you're here to manipulate your people, take money, scam them. Oh, I'm this, I'm buying land. I've heard all sort of things. But you know what? They said the legs are shorter. It is judgment time. What you have been paying, what you have been manipulating, what you have been putting, you're just going to get that back. Like I said, if we look at the flood in South Africa, we were just crying, and how could we be murdering our own people? It is not
Exactly.
been long, it's not been 2 weeks, it's not even been
Exactly.
what happened and how many lives were claimed because of the sake of one or two. It is time. The law of Ma'at
Exactly.
here with
And
us.
my dear sister, since you don't like to be called daughter, so you see, I was telling your brothers and sisters yesterday on my channel that those of us who really think that the time for them to come up, to make profit from our suffering, right? The time for them to be trained like it's been custom. I mean, they will be up to a brutal surprise because the guardians of our people are now more than ever active in bringing retribution to all those wronging Mother Africa and her children. I mean, the karma is almost instant. Watch around. They get instant karma, those trying us. That's why we need to be at peace. We're working in a different time. I don't know, for some of you who are like super sensitive, you must have felt a shift of energy. Because on the spirit realm, there's been a transfer of power already.
Yes. How come we
You
don't get
know, our throne has been occupied by them. Because, my dear children, in this life, in order for you to have power, and God never gave you that power, you got to take it from somewhere. So our forefathers had to lose their throne for them to feel it. But now the throne are going back to their rightful heirs and heiresses. So what does it mean? Even the puppets gonna wake up and go fight. All that you see our people daring to raise their head is because it's been prophesied. It will happen. They will awaken. So we should be hopeful. We should be very, optimistic about our future. We have a lot to stay around for.
Sister Queen, may God bless you. May your
I say,
ancestors show their face to you at any time. But it is all of us, it's going to be we are all on the scale of judgment. It's all about truth. We can claim everything that we want to claim. If we are not ourselves in that scale of justice, because it's coming. It's not even going to be a collective. It's going to be one-on-one. And we already saw it. And even if the prophecy came and said 400 years we're going to go back, 400 years you will not enter if you're still in that manipulative intentionally.
yeah,
You are not conscious of it. So no matter what, as we are talking, as we're putting all this together, it all comes back to one thing: truth and Ma'at. Ma'at said it. There's that balance. So even as we treat one another, be war against you. Even as I told you, one person burned in broad daylight. One. How many lives gone? There's 60, and it's the toll are getting up. It's not
The toll of what? From the xenophobia and killings?
There's been a flood in South Africa.
Ah, okay, yeah, for the flood, yeah.
Yes.
But you know, after abominations are committed on the land, our elders tell us that Tatanzania has to send water to purify. If it's not water, it's fire. So South Africa needs to be very careful, because before they fall back in another apartheid, because that division they want, Tatanzania may just give it to them. They don't understand the new era we are in. Maybe they need to be under apartheid again. And let's see who's going to come help you this time.
It is the time, mother. When we say nature, we still don't get it. I think we still don't even get it, because they look at it and they say, oh, there are calamities, there are floods, there are this. People, even the humans, and you know, these creatures are just manipulating everything, even your weather. Look at your skies. Look at everything. Manipulation. Even when they don't give you sun, right? So it's time. It's time for righteousness. Whether they who is doing what, all ourselves as humans. When we say mother nature, it is Mother Africa. It's the mother of humanity and cradle. And he doesn't spare anybody, because all of us in different shapes and sizes and colors are origins from that. We have to wake up. Like you said, self-love. How on earth do we burn one another in broad daylight and make cameras and film them? It is not even, I'm talking even today, even in my own, we're talking about Amazonia, we see people being chopped off, their heads being chopped off, you know, people begging for their lives and killed in broad daylight. How did we get here?
How is that okay?
When I look at this kind of structures, then I begin to ask myself, so what are we talking about, this salvation that I look at my brother, I look at you, and I slaughter you, and I chop your head off, and I burn you in broad light? Judgment is going to come.
The level of savagery, because you go behind the xenophobes, you're going to find that they are white funded. As usual, the enemy, he cast a stone and hide his hand. Now they forgot how these white South Africans were roasting them alive, as if they saw any of us go and kill them over there. The hatred is now turned against us. And we have children in America who go to South Africa to interview the white people, to give them a say so, or Ukrainians are not. I don't know what to say. They come and upload video in support of what's going on in South Africa. But that's another thing. Our leaders back at home, they see videos and they're like, do we really want to fight for these children? Look at those who are in America thinking this way. Do we want to bring them? Because one of us put our faces out there promoting nonsense. But what they don't understand is the era we are in. No evil will be allowed against God's people. It won't happen. They will be destroyed before they see our demise. So that's why I'm spending a lot of time teaching our children to lighten up their hearts. Our heart must be light as a feather. When you are in that vibration, you're untouchable.
Thank you so much for your work. God will bless you, and your purpose is already fulfilled. You're the happiest soul. Even when we go in transition, we're still gonna live that happiness. I really, really thank you. We love you so much. More courage, more energy. Now, we are concluding. What is the next step to do? I mean, regarding the roundtable, what are steps that we need to take? Are you
So
doing something?
more of us need to register, and we need to kind of set up like a group on WhatsApp where we take all the communication, or even on Telegram, wherever. We need to have a group where all the participants will kind of connect the dot, because we need to elect. If you guys say that you want your queen to go and speak on your behalf, yes. And those who are going, we need to show up in style. We need to find the fabric. We're going to go in a uniform, because our people, that's the language they understand. When they do something official, something serious, they always show up in uniform. I suggest we do the same thing. We get
Ashe.
our top three, we get our top three petitions, the top three things we want to see accomplished, and we start from there. We raise funds for the speaker and everything, and we take it from there. We have to engage them. Whomever is their master, let's say, I know it's no secret. A lot of our people are sitting there fearing for their lives, but who's going to give them the strength they need to speak loud? Is us, their children. But we have to show them that we are ready for this. All right, my dear and amazing royals of Africa.
It's a royal cleansing that you're giving us here, my queen. Thank you very much. Bayete. So, if you say we register, where are they going to register, my queen? Do you want them to register on the link that is given for the conference, or they register at your platform? And if that's the case, where should they register? I want contact.
So, but these are two different things, because we don't know the accommodation they have for the conference. So when we agree on the speaker is to contact them, contact somebody over there and let them know we, the diaspora, are coming as one. We let them know if they were going to cancel it or whatever, they can no longer, because we have registered, we have showed intent to attend. So once we do that, we take the conversation to the group, and those who are already registered. But I think we can all register under the agency, my agency, for example, and just, make our accommodation to show up united and in style.
All right. So, way forward, set up a group. Are you going to set up the WhatsApp group, and then we send invitations, or how do we go?
I can set up the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to need my assistant to help me locate the contact people for those organizations that have already signed up, that I have already registered.
Okay.
Yes, we should start from there. So once we establish contact with them, we start having our roundtable among ourselves before we even go. What is number one on your list? What should be number one on the list is the return of our children and pay them reparations. They have to. America is pouring money to Ukraine, $800 million. They just approved again. So, and these are the people who don't want to touch the topic of reparation of our children. So if this is not insult added to injury, I don't know what that is. So we need to get on it.
Ashe. Okay, so we'll be waiting for the link, and then would you want to, before we go, maybe this month, to give us a feedback on, we want to come again on the conversation, and let's see where we're going?
Okay, so, well, just like the roadmap I gave, I'm going to set up the link. I will send you the link so you can share on your site. But all I can tell our people right now is just to be calm, stay calm. Let's learn to mind our own African business.
Please drink water and add it to it. Water is the secret to learn to drink Drink water and mind your African business, because that water is not just water we're talking about here. Okay, make sure
Drink
you take
water.
water and just
Drink
drink it
water
and
and
mind your African
mind.
business.
Exactly. Drink water and mind your African business.
Thank
Just
you.
learn to ascend. Okay? Many of our ancestors are awakening in you. If you feel a push to do something for the people, join us. Don't be shy. Many of you have been assigned missions. You may be scared. Let go of fear. Fear not. Anybody rising against us, right? That we're gonna be crushed like a fly. Our Creator promised our ancestors that that's what's gonna happen. So fear not. Take action. Okay? And we have to stand as one. There's no way to survive this. We have to. I'm not promoting those who want to stay in the land of captivity. Our petition for reparation is not for those. If you get your reparation, go home. Have some pride. Let's go home. It's time. Okay, my lovely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, beautiful queen. Thank you for being here. And don't forget the 12-12 alarm, solidarity alarm, 12 p.m. Sound your, just beat your drum and the vibration is connecting. So we're already decoding and giving those symbols out there. 12-12 solidarity alarm. Make sure you set
12,
your
12 o'clock.
yes, 12 p.m. Make sure you set your solidarity alarms and everything is going to be okay. You beat your drum at that time and drink water and mind your African business. Everything is
And
going to be
mind your African bene.
That's right. And mind it. Thank you so much, my queen. You are welcome anytime, every time we are here. Everything is under control from the powers that be. We don't even need to worry anything. We're just a medium. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So peace in your heart and home, love in your heart and unity. Okay, my people. Walk a
And
one proud. This time is our time to shine again. Allow the king, the queen, the princess, the prince to awaken in you. I see some of you running around claiming, oh, our ancestors were demons. No. Our people say dogs don't breed cats. You came from king and queens. It makes you another royalty. Point blank, period. Okay, my lovelies. Until next time.
wow. No, wait, my queen, you said something. I mean, cats don't breed dogs. So if your ancestors were witches, so you automatically are a witch, isn't it?
Yes. If you feel that your ancestors were wizards and demons, it means like you are created in the likeness of them. You are a demon, you yourself.
Mm-hmm. So don't say that. Don't even think that. What do you wish for others, it just comes back. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your teaching. Thank you. Peace and love, my queen. We
Peace
love
and love,
you.
my dear children. Mwah.
Stay sweet and beautiful.
Thank you, absolutely.
Thank you. Bye bye. Wow.